Jupiter is getting ready to start its most benefic direct motion, and that's what we talk about today. Hello everybody, I'm Tina Chaudhary. Welcome to my channel and a very warm namaste. Aham Brahmasmi. So let's look at the transit of Jupiter, where it's been and where it is now. So on April 13th, 2022, Jupiter moved into the house of Pisces. Pisces is owned by Jupiter. It's the home of Jupiter, so it loves being there. Now, this is not the Mool Trikona or sign of Jupiter. Sagittarius is also owned by Jupiter, and that's the Mool Trikona sign of Jupiter. So Jupiter considers Sagittarius its office, where it's a little more stern in Sagittarius. It's also a little more strict in Sagittarius. But when it comes to Pisces, Pisces is also the last zodiac sign of the 12 zodiac signs. So Pisces is the sign of ultimate relaxation. Pisces is also a sign of sleep and spirituality. So when Jupiter moves into Pisces, it tends to be relaxed a little bit more, and it tends to give a little more benefic results as opposed to a little bit of the stern results. Even though they're benefic in Sagittarius, in Pisces they're a little more happier. Even though they're both benefic, but they're a little more happily, or the happy association is in Pisces, and the stern, more stricter association is with Sagittarius. So Jupiter moved into Pisces on April 13th of this year. And then as soon as it moved into Pisces on July 28th, it started its retrograde motion. And so really Jupiter hasn't really been able to give its very benefic results that we normally associate with Jupiter being in Pisces, because it was there for a very short time from April to July, where the degrees were very less. So it has just started its move into Pisces, and then it started its retrograde motion. Now finally, on November 24th, it's starting its direct motion in Pisces. Now this is excellent news, because finally we're going to be able to see the benefic results of Jupiter in Pisces that we normally associate with the benefic results generally of Jupiter. Vedic astrology considers Jupiter to be the most benefic planet of all the 9 planets. And when does it give the most benefic results? Normally, it gives the most benefic results when it's in its own house, which would be in the house of Sagittarius or in the house of Pisces. But it also gives very benefic results when it's in the house of Cancer, which is the sign owned by Moon. So because it exalts in the sign of Cancer. So these are the 3 positions where Jupiter gives its most benefic results. So Jupiter is going direct motion in the house of Pisces is actually considered one of the best positions for Jupiter. And now it's going direct, so now here we can expect the benefic results that we have been waiting for Jupiter to give us for the last 2 years. Jupiter has been very debilitated in Capricorn, during that whole COVID phase, which is why the whole universe was really suffering. Jupiter signifies our life, our prana, or the air that we breathe in, because Jupiter is an air sign. So it signifies our breathing, and that's what was very compromised during that whole COVID phase, because Jupiter was debilitated at that time. So now here we go, it's moving in a direct motion in Pisces, and we can expect some of the best results from Jupiter, the most benefic time that we can expect. Now, Jupiter is going to stay in the sign of Pisces until April 21st, 2023. So it's a phase of period of 5 months where we can expect to see these benefic results. So while Jupiter is in the zodiac sign of Pisces, it's going to be aspecting 3 other zodiac signs, because Jupiter has been blessed with the aspect or vision to impact 3 houses. It impacts the 5th house from it, the 7th house from it, and the 9th house from it. So when it's in Pisces, it's going to impact the zodiac sign of Cancer, Virgo, and Scorpio. So who does this impact the most? People that have planets in the zodiac sign of Cancer, in the zodiac sign of Virgo and Scorpio are going to get impacted at this time. So this transit of Jupiter is going to be a little more impactful for them. Also, the people that have a Jupiter Dasha Mahadasha or a Saturn Dasha Mahadasha are also going to be impacted. One of the things that we also have to always consider when we're talking about all these transit things or transit videos that we make is if you have planets in these houses, which would be obviously Pisces and Cancer, Virgo and Scorpio, Jupiter is going to be transiting over these planets if it's in Pisces. And planets that are placed in the signs of Cancer, Virgo and Scorpio are also going to get impacted because of Jupiter's aspect on them. So they're going to get activated and impacted as well. So there's going to be a little more impact for those people that have planets in those signs. Jupiter's aspect is also considered very benefic. If Jupiter aspects a benefic planet, then the aspect is considered very benefic and powerful as well. So as an example, if you have planets in Pisces like Venus or Moon that are very benefic planets themselves, then it's a very happy time for you. If it's Moon, you know, your thoughts, you may feel a sense of happiness. If it's Venus, then you may gain material wealth because that's what Venus signifies. So a benefic planet transiting or impacting another benefic planet usually results in more benefic results. If a benefic planet impacts a malefic planet such as Mars, then the benefic impact of Jupiter is going to be reduced a little bit because the malefic influence of that malefic planet will also come into play. So Jupiter is not all benefic. It also depends on who or which planet Jupiter impacts or transits over. So sometimes we have to keep these things in mind when we talk about these transit videos. The transit videos that we make and the predictions that I make are general predictions. You know, they are based on just the pure transit of the planet. It doesn't really take into account what if there's planets in those signs or a person's, you know, unique birth chart. So make sure you listen to the predictions. The predictions are accurate, but they doesn't take into account the unique planetary placements for each individual. So let's talk about the nakshatra that Jupiter is going to be transiting in when it starts its direct motion. As I myself am transiting from one place to another because it's, you know, filming a video in the winter months, it's very hard for me because the sun is directly over me, so the light keeps messing up my video, and so I'm transiting along with the sun also, so it's very hard to film in the winter months for me because the sun's right overhead. So as I'm talking about a transit, I'm transiting myself and the background scenery keeps changing, and you get to look at my backyard corner. This is a corner of my backyard, but I keep moving around and trying to find the best light. So I'm sorry that I keep moving and the background keeps changing. But coming back to the nakshatra that Jupiter is going to be transiting in, it's going to be transiting in the nakshatra called Uttar Bhadrapad. Uttar Bhadrapad is a nakshatra that's the 26th of the 27 nakshatra. So it's the second last nakshatra. And then it's finally going to move into the nakshatra of Revati, which is the last nakshatra in Pisces. And then it's finally going to move into Aries after April 21st. So talking about the Uttar Bhadrapad nakshatra, it's one of my favorite nakshatras, and I'll tell you why. Uttar Bhadrapad is one of the most auspicious nakshatras there is of all the nakshatras. It's considered a very benefic nakshatra. It's considered an auspicious nakshatra. And the reason for that is that Uttar Bhadrapad is ruled by Saturn. How is a Saturn nakshatra considered auspicious? Everybody's thinking. I'll explain this to you, and this is what's going to be the way why Jupiter is going to be so benefic in Uttar Bhadrapad. So Uttar Bhadrapad is ruled by Saturn, and it's also associated with the goddess of wealth, which is goddess Lakshmi, she's the goddess of wealth. So Uttar Bhadrapad is also considered lucky feet, or the lucky feet, which is why it's also, like I said, associated with the goddess of wealth. And it's ruled by Saturn. So how does this combination work? The reason for that is because it's in the house of Pisces, which is the zodiac sign is ruled by Jupiter. The nakshatra is ruled by Saturn. And so here we have it. This nakshatra is ruled by the god of karma in the house of the god of dharma, and it's ruled by the goddess of wealth, goddess Lakshmi. So the counsel that it gives you is that if you fulfill your karmic debts, you fulfill your karma, meaning your responsibilities and everything that you're supposed to do, and you do, keeping the right path and the purity of heart, purity of intention in mind, and you fulfill all your responsibilities, fulfill all your karmic debt with a pure mind, pure heart, then the goddess of wealth will bless you. The lucky feet will come in your life. The lucky feet are always associated with the goddess of Lakshmi. Goddess Lakshmi, the goddess of wealth. So the goddess will bless you, and you will earn material wealth, and you will earn not only material wealth but happiness associated with material wealth. Why is that? Because Venus, the giver of material wealth and luxuries of our life, and the happiness that is associated with these material wealth, is exalted in the zodiac sign of Pisces. So the blessings from goddess Lakshmi and Venus will be attained if you follow this path, which is why this nakshatra is considered the most auspicious, because all the three gods, which is the Saturn, the god of karma, Jupiter, the god of dharma, and Venus, the god of the luxuries and material wealth, are blessed in this nakshatra, within this nakshatra. It carries the energy of all these three gods, and hence, if you do things the right way, fulfill all your obligations, you will be blessed in several different ways in your life. I have seen lots of people. When I do my birth chart readings, I have seen lots of people that either have a moon or a Venus or Jupiter in this nakshatra that have led very blessed lives. They lead very happy lives. So here comes a transit where Jupiter is going to transit in this auspicious nakshatra of Uttar Bhadrapad, and it's going to bless all of us. The key to this blessing is going to be that we do all the things the right way. We don't follow the crooked way of doing things. We keep everybody's interest in mind. We lead a pure life. We fulfill all our responsibilities with purity of heart. We think of society, not just ourselves. We don't lead a selfish life, and we make sure that we're doing things for the good of others, and that's when the blessing automatically comes. So my counsel to everybody is that when I'm giving these predictions for the ascendants, and I'm telling you all these good things are going to happen, you have to keep in mind that the essence of this nakshatra must be retained, meaning perform all your tasks, perform all your karmas of this life with a pure heart, and don't take into the negative energy of jealousy, anger, ego, arrogance. When you just don't let that come into your lives, otherwise the nakshatra doesn't perform well. So that's my guidance, and that's my talk on Uttar Bhadrapad. I'm going to move on to predictions. My predictions are based on Vedic or sidereal astrology. They're also based on ascendant signs. But if you want to listen to it based on your moon sign, that's okay too. So my predictions are based on ascendant signs, but they're also impactful based on your moon sign. Moon sign impacts is more at a mental level. Ascendant sign predictions are based on actual events that a person undergoes. And let me remind you, if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, please do subscribe to my channel. I'm going to be putting out a lot more exciting videos coming up, especially the predictions for the next year. So you get notification of it as soon as I put out the video. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. And don't forget to share this video with friends and family. And if you like it, give me a like. Aries, Jupiter is transiting in your 12th house. Aries, Jupiter is transiting in your 12th house, and it aspects the 4th house, the 6th house, and the 8th house. The 12th house represents losses, expenses, as well as all things foreign, including foreign travel. It also denotes your sleep pattern. So Aries needs to be very careful about overspending or impulsive spending at this time. And the spending could either be planned, or it could also be things that come out of nowhere. So they're unplanned and sudden expenses as well. The spending could relate to things in the home. You could be thinking about buying real estate or a house. It all also do with buying large ticket items like cars or things like I said in the house. It could be renovating your house. If you want to do that, it's a wonderful time to do that. It's also a good time to purchase real estate. The fourth house also relates to your mother. So if there were issues with your mother's health previously, or if you were experiencing any relationship challenges with your mother, Jupiter sends a lot of healing energy and your mother's health improves, as well as the fact that your relationship with your mother could definitely improve. Make sure you reach out to your mother and resolve all issues if you had any. Even if you didn't have issues, make sure you reach out to your mother and stay in close touch with her, because Jupiter is sending lots of blessings to her and your relationship with her. The sixth house aspect counsels you to make sure you pay off any loans or debts that you may have been carrying for a while. Even if you can't afford to pay off all of it, make sure you're paying off a small amount. At least start paying off a small amount, so that once you start paying it off, the blessings of Jupiter on the sixth house make sure that you pay off the debt in no time and before you realize it. Sixth house also is relationships with coworkers. So if there was issues in the past where there was a difficult time with coworkers or at work, those tend to get resolved as well. Now, I'm telling you all these things where relationships improve, but I'm also telling you that you need to take that first step in moving forward and trying to repair any challenges in relationships if you were experiencing any previously during the retrograde period of Jupiter. So if you had any issues at work, relationships with coworkers, make sure you make the first step and try to repair those relationships as well. If you had any health issues, Jupiter sends you lots of good energy to the sixth house to help you recover from those past issues as well. The eighth house is also being aspected, and that's has an element of suddenness. So you may actually be prone to impulsive purchases. Remember, the 12th house is getting aspected. So the 8th and 12th mean sudden purchases or expenses, unforeseen expenses. So be prepared for that, and try to save your money as opposed to spending all your money. Also, 12th house means sleep is going to be better. If you were having some sleep issues during the retrograde phase of Jupiter, definitely sleep gets improved at this time. In fact, you might enjoy much relaxed sleep at this time. The 12th house Jupiter also indicates foreign travel. So if you were thinking about them or you're thinking of spending money on them, well, this is the time you might do it. Taurus, Jupiter is transiting in your 11th house. Taurus, Jupiter is transiting in your 11th house, and it's going to aspect the 3rd, 5th, and the 7th house. Now, this is a very, very positive time for Taurus because the 11th house represents monetary gains, our hopes and aspirations, desire fulfillment, and also friends and social network. Well, this is what we all always want to know, is when can I get my desires fulfilled and when can I get material gains. For Taurus, this is the time when Jupiter will bless them in the 11th house and give them all the happiness that they're probably looking for, as well as material wealth. The 3rd house is being aspected, which means that it gives them the energy and the confidence to do whatever it takes to fulfill all their dreams and realize their monetary gains as well. The 3rd house represents courage, confidence, and the willingness to pull self-effort into their dream projects or hard work into whatever it is that they want. The 5th house is also being aspected, and the 5th house indicates our thinking and intelligence to come up with ideas and solutions on how to achieve our goals. So when both the 3rd and the 5th house get aspected by an 11th house Jupiter, what Taurus will come up with is all the self-confidence, all the self-effort, determination, and hard work, and come up with all these new ideas on how they can make their desires be fulfilled, how they can, get material wealth, material gains, how they can increase their income. And so that's why this is such a great transit for Taurus. It doesn't mean that the money is going to fall from the trees all of a sudden. It just means that Jupiter is going to give them energy, wisdom, and the smartness to be able to achieve their dreams. So for Taurus, my guidance is to use this transit, this transit of 6 to 7 months very wisely. Think through things. How do you want to achieve your goals? How do you want to achieve material wealth? And put those ideas in motion and try to achieve what it is that you want to achieve. This is once in a 12-year transit. Don't let it go to waste. The fifth house also represents all the fun things of our life, like our love life, our children, education, and happiness that we have in our lives, or the good times we spend, the fun things that we do in our life. When the 5th and the 11th get activated, it means we're going to spend a lot of good times with our friends. So there's probably going to be a lot of good get-togethers for Taurus individuals. The 5th house is, like I said, children. So your children may do really well or give you a lot of happiness. Relationships with children will improve as well. Now, those people that are looking for love in their life, this is a perfect time to start something new or find somebody that you're looking for. The 7th house gets activated. The 7th house is the house of marriage, your spouse. When the 5th and the 7th get activated by Jupiter, especially at the same time from the 11th, it means that a lot of Taurians may get committed into permanent relationships, or their love relationships might turn into marriage, or they may propose marriage and turn into serious commitments. Taurus, one especially good thing is that your married life is going to be very sweet at this time too, because the 7th house gets activated along with the 5th and the 11th. So a lot of good time spent within the marriage. And lastly, if you're a student or pursuing any kind of education, the aspect on the 5th house is going to be a very positive one, because it's going to help you focus and do really well in your studies, as opposed to the retrograde motion of Jupiter previously that was making you a little bit distracted and uninterested in your studies. But this direct motion really helps out the students focus and do very well in their studies. Gemini, Jupiter transits your 10th house. Gemini, Jupiter is going direct in your 10th house. And from the 10th house, it's going to aspect the 2nd, 4th, and the 6th house. Now, Gemini people have been so worried about their finances that that's all they can think of is their finances and their career. So now here comes a wonderful transit for the Gemini people, because the 10th house is the house of career and profession. So Jupiter is going to turn things around a little bit in their house of career, meaning in their career. Things that were stagnated in the past, or status quo, where Gemini was very displeased or dissatisfied with nothing going on in their careers, can now expect things to start rocking and rolling and moving ahead. And it aspects the 2nd house, and the 2nd house is the house of your income and your savings. So when the 2nd and the 10th house get activated or aspected together, it means that you have good income coming from your job or your career. So this is a wonderful news for Gemini, because I know Gemini are a little finance oriented people. For the Geminis that were looking for a new job, they may actually find it now during this transit. Also, the Geminis that have been waiting for some career growth since the last 6 months, this transit looks very, very promising. Now I'm going to give out a secret to my Gemini people that I've learned from my Guruji many years ago. And he said that in order for Geminis to continue to earn good money, they have to continue to learning anything. You have to just keep learning or educating yourself. So the mantra for Gemini is keep learning so you keep earning. Very easy to remember. So basically, if Geminis continue to learn or educate themselves, and the education can be any topic, any subject that they want to learn. It doesn't have to be related to your work even, as long as you're continuing to educate yourself and, continuing to learn things, your money will keep coming in. And the reason for that is that Gemini's 7th house and 10th house are ruled by Jupiter. Jupiter indicates learning, and both those houses aspect the money houses, which is the 11th and the 2nd house. So in order for Jupiter in order for Gemini to continue to grow and acquire material wealth, they need to continue their learning or continue to get educated in some way or another. They can just educate themselves, whatever topic, whatever subject they want, but that's what leads to their growth in life and abundance of material wealth in life. Moving on, the fourth house is also getting aspected. So the fourth house rules real estate. So this is a good time to invest in real estate, or people that are engaged in the real estate business. This is a good time for that from a monetary standpoint as well. Investing in real estate is also good at this time. Now, relationships with your mother, it's going to be a lot improved at this time because your mother is also signified by the fourth house. The aspect on the sixth house means that if you had any loans previously or any debts, you need to start paying them off. And also, don't think of taking on too many debts or loans. Jupiter signifies abundance. So if you take on debt, you may take on too much debt. So think twice before taking on loans or debts at this time. Rather, if you have them, you should try to pay them off. Cancer, Jupiter transits your ninth house. Cancer, Jupiter is going direct in your ninth house, and it's aspecting your ascendant house, your third house, and your fifth house. The ninth house is the house of luck and destiny, our dharma and our religion. And more importantly, Jupiter is the significator of the ninth house itself, because Jupiter is considered the most benefic planet of all the 9 planets. When Jupiter transits the ninth house, it is one of the most auspicious transits because it blesses the 3 houses that are the most important in terms of happiness. That is the first house, which signifies you, your body. The third house signifies energy, confidence, self-effort, communication, and the fifth house of wisdom, love, health, good health, and happiness. So this direct motion of Jupiter in the ninth house is a time of great opportunity for the Cancer individuals. The ascendant or the first house represents your own physical body and overall feeling of well-being. When Jupiter aspects it, it gives you a great aura and full energy to recover from any prior health issues. It also gives you a sense of happiness and overall satisfaction with how things are going on in your life. The third house represents your energy, confidence, the effort that you put into things, your communication style. And so when the third house is aspected, you not only recover from your prior health issues, but you also get a new sense of confidence. You also feel like you have great communication skills and you want to put in the self-effort to move towards the goals that you had in mind, and you have the energy to move towards the goals, and you also have the dedication and you take the initiatives to move towards the goals that you have in mind. The fifth house represents, amongst a lot of other positive things, represents wisdom and creativity in ideas and in the thought process. So overall, Cancer will have really good energy and motivation along with the creativity to come up with new ideas. They will have the wisdom to make good decisions, to move ahead with whatever they want to in their life, especially things related to their careers. So they need to take advantage of this wonderful transit, think about what they want to do, and make sure take the initiative and to move ahead with conviction and hard work and self-effort. The third house also means wonderful communication skills at this time, also wonderful, great relationships with your siblings. The fifth house means positive time for love life. It's also a very positive time for your children, or you may enjoy times with your children, or you may have happiness through your children. You may spend a lot of time with your children as well. If you are a student, especially, this is even exceptional time because both the educational houses are getting aspect, which is the fifth and the ninth. The ninth house denotes our dharma and our religion. So when both the ninth and fifth get activated, on some of the Cancers will be celebrating some happy or auspicious occasion and celebrating that with friends, family, or whatever, and having a lot of happy celebrations that they're part of. Some Cancers can actually have some long distance travel because of the ninth house transit. Leo, Jupiter is transiting in your 8th house. Leo, Jupiter is going direct in your 8th house, and from the 8th house it's going to aspect the 12th house, the 2nd house, and the 4th house. The 8th house denotes some of the challenge in our life. The 8th house also represents sudden events that come out of nowhere, or events that we didn't plan for or think were going to happen. For the Leo ascendants, these challenges or these sudden events are mostly going to be related to finance. And the reason for that is because the aspect is falling on the 12th house and the second house. The 12th house is a house that indicates high expenses and losses. And the second house is a house that represents savings or good income. So the unexpected events could be either positive or somewhat challenging in terms of finance. You could get sudden monetary gains as well as sudden high expenses that you didn't plan for. The unexpected monetary gains are those that are the unearned type, which means it could be either some insurance settlements, insurance claims that you were waiting for, inheritance issues that you were waiting to settle on, or gains from in-laws. This is the kind of gains that the 8th house gives you. It doesn't give you the normal earnings that you do as a result of your hard work. It's unearned income. So the guidance here is that before you make any investments or before you spend on anything, large ticket items, you have to really think hard before you do that, because the house of loss, which is the 12th house, is getting aspected. So the chance of loss is at this time is great. Also, there could be some expenses that come up that deplete your savings as well. So because when the second and the 12th house both get aspected at the same time, there's a chance that you use your savings to spend a lot on something also. So you need to kind of watch your savings and don't rush into impulsive purchases for large items. The aspect on the second house is actually good news, because you could experience very good family harmony at this time, especially if there was some challenges during the retrograde phase of Jupiter. Now there could be very much happiness at home and family harmony at home. When the second and the 4th house get activated together, it also indicates family get-togethers at home. So there's going to be good family get-togethers at home. Also, the second house getting activated along with the 8th house indicates you need to take good care of your diet and the food that you eat, because there's possible chance of digestion issues at this time. And lastly, the aspect on the 4th house I already mentioned is that the 4th house indicates mental stress, mental worry. So in the retrograde phase of Jupiter, Leo was having a lot of mental stress and worries, and now when Jupiter goes direct, it kind of lifts the burden, eases your mind, and there's harmony and happiness at home. Also, relationship with the mother, if there was any ill health to the mother, that improves. And relationship with the mother also improves at this time. Again, I'd like to mention that when the 4th house gets aspected by Jupiter, there's always a good chance of good auspicious celebrations at home, within the home environment with family. And just the last caution again is to take very good care of your health, especially eating habits. If the remedy for this is to do a meditation and mantra practice, that is always the remedy for the 8th house. So if you want to make sure you don't impact your health in any negative way, is to do meditation, drink lots of water, and do some mantra practice. Whatever prayer or mantra that you like, you can do that, practice that. It kind of gets rid of the negative energy from the 8th house. Virgo, Jupiter is transiting in your 7th house. Virgo, Jupiter is transiting in your 7th house, and it's aspecting the 11th house, the ascendant or the 1st house, and also the 3rd house. Now, the 7th house denotes your marriage, your spouse, as well as business partners. It also represents the general public that you come in contact with on a daily basis, as well as your public image. This is a very positive time for all these things. Virgo has been having some trouble on the relationship front at home, and finally they can hope to get some relief as far as relationships with the spouse is concerned. Your public image, which means the respect that you get from everybody that you meet, all your friends and family, as well as just everybody, your public image, the respect you get from everybody is going to be at an all-time high. The aspect on the 11th house expands your social circle. So you may meet lots of new people. It also is the house of gains and desires. But so note that the ascendant house as well as the third house is also getting aspected. So when all these three houses get activated or aspected at the same time, it means that as long as you put in the effort and the hard work towards your dreams and desires, they will now get manifested or fulfilled. And the reason for that is because the first house represents you and yourself, and the third house represents efforts and hard work. So as long as you put yourself in hard work, make the effort, your dreams and desires could now manifest or get fulfilled very easily. The aspect on the first house also means that if you were having some health issues previously during the retrograde phase of Jupiter, it now gets resolved and you get very good healing or recovery energy. The third house also indicates communication and siblings. So at this time, your communication is going to be rather sweet, very pleasant. And it's because of these communication skills that relationships all over improve. These are relationships with your siblings, with your spouse, and the 11th house, which is your friends and network circle. So use this time wisely, where you communicate to people what you want from them, and because your dreams and desires will manifest. So as long as you can communicate them to people, they will be more than happy to fulfill your whatever it is that you want from them. The third house also denotes short distance travel. So if you're going on a short distance travel or several of them, then they're going to be fruitful. So those journeys are also going to be enjoyable as well as fruitful. So this is a very positive transit for Virgo, and they really need to take full advantage of this and be able to manifest whatever it is, dreams, desires, monetary gains that they want to manifest at this time, using all these good benefic energies that Jupiter is giving them via their own self-effort, via their own hard work, via their communication skills. Libra, Jupiter is transiting in your 6th house. Libra, Jupiter is transiting in your 6th house, and it's impacting your 10th house, 12th house, and your 2nd house. The 6th house represents health, co-workers, loans, debts, enemies, opponents, and your competition. Jupiter will help you recover from any previous health issues that you were experiencing during its retrograde phase. This transit also encourages you to pay off any loans or debts that you have pending. Libra has been thinking about high expenses and lack of savings previously since the retrograde phase started. And now with Jupiter going direct, this is a great opportunity to control or try to control your expenses and start saving. The 12th house is still being aspected, so there may still be unnecessary and unplanned expenses, which you still need to control. But now the 10th house is being aspected, so that means promising things start to happen on the career front, and there is opportunity to increase income. Relationship with coworkers improves, and your superiors will support you. You will also get recognition at work. So this means that there's an opportunity where you can increase your income, you could get a raise, or even change jobs at this time if you were wanting to do that. If you're looking for a job, this is an opportune time. 6th house Jupiter also helps you in winning against the competitors, or if you're taking any competitive tests, it helps you win out against competition. And it's not just competition that you win against, but it's also if there was any enemies or people working against you at work or anywhere, you kind of win against them as well. As the 6th house Jupiter energy is powerful to make you win against competition, even in lawsuits, court cases, things like that. The 2nd house aspect also indicates pleasant relationships with family members. The only caution that I have for Libra people is to be very careful or cautious about making new investments or any financial decisions, financial changes, due to the involvement of the 12th house, which is a house of loss. So be very careful with any financial matters at this time. Also, be careful about taking too much debt or loans at this time by spending too much and then incurring a very high credit card debt at this time, because it will be difficult to pay it off later. When Jupiter is in the 6th house and aspects the 12th house, there can be heavy debt that gets incurred because of that as well. So guard against heavy spending and don't make too many financial decisions, changes, and new investments at this time. Otherwise, it's a wonderful time for your career and family relationships. Scorpio, Jupiter is transiting in your 5th house. Scorpio, Jupiter is going direct in your 5th house, and from the 5th house, it's going to aspect the 9th house, the 11th house, and the ascendant house, which is the 1st house. The 5th house relates to education, children, love life, creativity, your intelligence, and also your learning abilities. Jupiter is actually the Karaka, or the significator for all these things in our life. So when Jupiter starts its direct motion in the 5th house, it will give a very positive impact to all of these significations. Happiness from children and your relationship with children will do very well. If you're looking for love, this is a very opportune time to find somebody new. And if you're already in a love relationship, then this relationship will give you a lot of happiness. Your ability to think clearly through solutions and things and come up with innovative ideas will result in good gains and wish fulfillment for you. For students, the focus on whatever it is that you're learning and your performance will be outstanding. The aspect on the 9th house means that luck and destiny are going to be on your side. As long as you're thinking through things, coming up with new ways to do things, and your creativity is at a peak, luck is definitely going to be supporting you. The 11th house and the ascendant house are jointly being activated at this time, which means that it's time for you to take action and all the necessary steps to help you achieve your monetary goals and manifest your wishes. The 11th house denotes wish fulfillment and desire fulfillment. Hence, the ascendant house, which is you yourself, need to take all the actions necessary to fulfill all these goals. This is a very positive transit and a very opportune time for you to take advantage of and make sure that you're able to manifest your goals and also achieve your monetary wishes based on the actions you take at this time. The 9th house also denotes your father, so stay close to him, and it's time to enjoy your relationship with him. Scorpio may also be taking some trips. They could be long distance trips, and some of these could be for education purposes or for religious travel. The 11th house also means your network circle and your social circle, which is going to grow, because Jupiter's aspect on it means growth and abundance. So you may actually spend a lot of fun times with your friends, because when the 11th house and the 5th house both get aspected, it means growth and abundance with your friendship circle, your social circle, and your networking group, spending lots of fun times with them, as well as growth within the circle, and also enjoying the respect of your friends and your network circle. Take full advantage of this positive transit, not only in growth and abundance, in material wealth and prosperity, but also within your professional circle and your personal life. Sagittarius, Jupiter is transiting in your 4th house. Sagittarius, Jupiter is going to be transiting direct in your 4th house, and it's going to aspect the 8th house, the 10th house, and the 12th house. For Sagittarius, Jupiter is their ascendant lord, so this direct transit is going to be extra favorable to you. The 4th house rules your mental happiness and domestic bliss at home. So now Jupiter gives you a sense of peace. In the retrograde phase of Jupiter, Sagittarius was probably feeling a little agitated, confused, and not quite happy. But as soon as Jupiter goes into the direct motion, Sagittarius is going to feel a sense of peace and actual happiness within themselves. The 4th house also rules your mother, so it's time for you to have a happy relationship with her, as well as the fact that if she was having any health issues, Jupiter gives her some good healing energy. When the 4th house and the 12th house get aspected together, it sometimes indicates a desire to buy real estate or to relocate or buy a new home. So this might occur for some Sagittarius. It also means buying high-priced luxury items such as vehicles, cars, or actually doing some renovation at home or buying expensive things for the home such as furniture or high-priced items. The aspect on the 8th house means sudden events. So take good care of your health, and also take good care while you're driving. The 10th house is getting aspected, so that means a very promising time for your career. At work, the spotlight, a positive spotlight, is going to be on you, and you may be recognized in a very positive way. You will enjoy the respect of your coworkers as well as your superior. Jupiter's aspect on the 10th and the 8th house together means that there may be some sudden job changes with Sagittarius as well. There may be a sudden opportunity that arises, or a job opportunity comes up that actually means you need to relocate. So Sagittarius needs to think and do their due diligence before changing their jobs. So make sure you think through things, review everything carefully, and do all your research and due diligence before you change your job or accept jobs. If you're looking for a new job, this is the time when you may actually find it, and it actually may happen very suddenly, because the 8th house does represent things that come up suddenly. Also, because the 12th house is being aspected at this time, there could be an increase in expenses. And these expenses also could come up suddenly, the expenses that you didn't plan for. And you also need to try to control your excess spending, because when Jupiter aspects the 12th house, the spendings do kind of get out of control. The 12th house also indicates foreign travel, so some Sagittarians might do some foreign travel as well, and maybe the expenses because of foreign travel. Overall, it's a very promising time for your career for the Sagittarius. Just try to control your spending. Capricorn, Jupiter is transiting in your 3rd house. Capricorn, Jupiter is going direct in your 3rd house, and from there it's going to aspect the 7th house, the 9th house, and the 11th house. Typically, the 3rd house is not considered a very positive house for Jupiter to be in. That's because in a generic birth chart, the 3rd house is ruled by Mercury, and that's an enemy planet for Jupiter. In the 3rd house, Jupiter will now give you the boost of energy and courage to take on new initiatives, or do and complete all the pending items or all the pending tasks that were stuck during the retrograde phase of Jupiter. You were probably not motivated enough to start anything during the retrograde phase of Jupiter, or you were probably, a lot of things were stuck, not moving ahead. And now when Jupiter starts its direct motion in the 3rd house, you're all of a sudden going to have a lot of courage and initiative to move forward with those projects or items that were stuck previously. Your communication skills will be very convincing and pleasant. So utilize all these positives and move forward and put your plans in motion now. Because the 11th house, which is a house of desire fulfillment, is also getting aspected. When the 3rd house and the 11th house get aspected at the same time, what that means is that you need to put in all the effort, dedication, and move forward with commitment and courage, and that's when your desires will be fulfilled. All your material gains can be promised. So this is the time that you need to move ahead with everything or anything that you want to do. If you want your desires fulfilled, if you want material gains, this is now in your hands, and you can achieve that as long as you take the actions. The other positive aspect is that on the 7th house, and the 7th house denotes your marriage and your marriage partner. So relationships within the marriage are also going to be very positive, very pleasant at this time. But it also represents a relationship with your business partners. And if you own a business, the 7th house denotes your business. So again, like I said, if you put in the effort, if you put in additional investments, or you make any effort towards increasing your business or growing your business at this time, do whatever it takes, and you're going to see material rewards as a result of that, because the 11th house is being aspected. The other positive aspect is from the 9th house, or to the 9th house. The 9th house is the house of luck and destiny. So this is the time when luck is supporting you as well. Capricorn should not let this time go to waste. They should do everything they can in their power to start things, to take on new initiatives, and move forward with whatever they've been thinking of or about, during the retrograde phase of Jupiter. This 6 months is critical for Capricorn. Absolutely everything is supporting them. The luck is supporting them, and material gains and all your wish and desire fulfillment can happen as long as they're putting the effort. Understand, Capricorn, it's not just going to come on its own. It all depends on your effort. Don't let this time go to waste. Make sure you do whatever you can to put the effort and realize all the success that you are looking for. It might also be a very good idea to reach into your network, a professional network or social group, if you need any help of any kind, because the 11th house is activated or aspected. Reach into them for any help that you need, and you will actually get it at this time. You may actually spend a lot of good fun times within your social group and network group at this time as well. Some Capricorn people may go on trips because all the travel houses are getting aspected. So Capricorn, there's going to be some travel coming up for you as well. Aquarius, Jupiter is transiting in your second house. Aquarius, Jupiter is going direct in your second house, and it's going to aspect your 6th, 8th, and 10th house. For Aquarius, Jupiter rules the 11th house and the second house, which is both the money houses. So when Jupiter starts to go direct in one of the money houses, which is the second house, Aquarius can expect one of the best phases for finance for themselves. Also, because it's going to aspect the 10th house, which is the house of career, it really couldn't get much better for Aquarius, because this is all about their career and this is all about finance for Aquarius individuals. The second house represents finance, our savings. It also represents speech. It represents family. It represents food and the material possessions that we have in our life. When Jupiter goes direct in here, it's going to obviously be giving all these things to the Aquarius individuals. So it's going to give a very giant boost to the finance for Aquarius people. And the way it's going to come is through their work or through their career, because the 10th house of career is also getting aspected. So Aquarius can expect to spend some fun times with the family, enjoy good family relationships, and enjoy the luxury items of life like good food and a boost in their income. The aspect on the 6th house is also very positive in terms of getting rid of debts and loans at this time. If any Aquarius was involved in legal disputes or any other such issues with enemies or opponents, it will settle these in your favor. The 6th house, however, does counsel you to take good care of your health in terms of the food you eat, because eating incorrectly or the wrong diet can give you some digestive issues and cause bloating. Now, I've already mentioned that the aspect on the 10th house means great career growth and business expansion at this time. However, because the 8th house is being aspected, it means that there will be hard work and some mental stress involved, although the career does look very promising at this time. So make sure you put in the hard work, because the career growth and expansion is definitely looking promising. Also, increase in income, a boost in income is seen. So make sure you don't shy away from the hard work that the 8th house wants you to do at this time. The combination of the 8th house along with the 2nd house means that there could be receipt of unearned income, if there was something like that waiting for, that you were waiting for. Unearned income is income or some money that comes not via your career, something that you didn't work to earn. So it could be things like insurance claims, inheritance claims, or gifts, or something from your in-laws, if the 8th house also is finance or income from your in-laws. So if there was something like that you were waiting to settle on, this is the time when you will probably get it. Basically, for Aquarius, this is a finance, work-related transit. So take full advantage of it. Don't shy away from the hard work, and you will definitely see very, very good financial results during this Jupiter's direct phase. Pisces, Jupiter is transiting in your own ascendant house, the first house. Pisces, Jupiter is going direct in your own ascendant sign, and it's aspecting the 5th, 7th, and the 9th house. Now, Jupiter is your own ascendant lord. So the ascendant lord transiting in ascendant house is a very powerful impact on you. The ascendant house signifies you yourself, your physical body, and your temperament in general. When Jupiter starts to go direct, it gives you an amazing aura and healing energy that makes you feel so much more relaxed, as opposed to that retro phase of Jupiter where you were feeling like you were stuck in tension and worry and not moving ahead. If you were having any health issues previously, you now feel a little bit more recovered. And this is due to the impact on the 5th house, which 5th house is the house of recovery from any ill health. The 5th house also clears up the fog in your mind, and now you're able to think through things and plan clearly for the future. In the retro phase, you were probably not clear what was going on in your life, in your work, in your business, and confused about how to proceed further. And now this fog clears up, and you're able to clearly see your future and plan for it. Your relationship with children also improves, and they do well and provide you happiness. Those in love relationships enjoy happier times, and if you're looking for love, it's a promising time. Some Pisces may even get married or propose marriage at this time because of the aspect on the 7th house and the 5th house at the same time. Married Pisces enjoy a very happy time with their spouse. The 9th house aspect proves that luck and destiny are on your side. So this is the transit that brings you happiness and lifts the stress away. The 9th house is also your father, so make sure to stay close to him and enjoy your relationship with him. If you're a student, this is also a wonderful time for you to focus and do well in your studies because of the joint aspect of the 5th house and the 9th house by a planet like Jupiter that itself signifies education. Some Pisces can also enjoy some long distance travel, and some of this travel could be due to religious travel or also travel for education purposes. Overall, for Pisces, this Jupiter direct motion is a happy phase and a healthy phase. So make sure you enjoy it. With this, I come to the end of my video. I hope everybody has a very benefic and happy transit of Jupiter. Stay safe, stay happy. And I'll see you on my next video. Thank you for watching.